All right, so today we're going to talk about modal hexatonic scales, and it sounds a little confusing and it might be like super advanced stuff here, but if you know a little bit about music theory and you generally understand what modes are, this concept is probably not so bad. We're going to combine two elements. We're going to combine pentatonic scales and we're going to combine the idea of modes, and we're going to cherry pick certain intervals and basically take a pentatonic scale and just add one additional interval. Whether you know it or not, you probably already know a hexatonic scale. If you know the blues scale. What we're going to try to do is we're going to find the minor sixth interval in every area that we can of box 1. A natural minor scale has the root, the major second, the minor third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, minor sixth, minor 7, and then back to your octave. So that minor sixth is one of the specific sounds, kind of the fingerprint of that sound. So we're going to take minor pentatonic and just add that additional minor sixth, and we basically turn it into an Aeolian hexatonic scale. Next on the list is probably going to be Dorian, another very popular sound in rock music especially. We're going to take the minor pentatonic again, box 1, but now instead of adding the minor sixth interval, we're going to add the major sixth interval. That is the main difference between Aeolian and Dorian. They are the same exact scale except that sixth interval. Next up is going to be the final minor mode. We're going to skip the Locrian mode for today. I will probably tackle the Locrian mode in a separate video at some point. But we're going to talk about the Phrygian mode. So the Phrygian mode is like the Aeolian mode, more related to the Aeolian mode because it has the minor sixth interval. But what it has that's different from the Aeolian is a flat second interval. So you have your root note, and then a half step away is the second interval. So this is what it would sound like, again, if we're taking box 1 of minor pentatonic and simply adding a flat 2, we get a Phrygian hexatonic scale. So now we're going to change it up. We're going to go to the major side of this discussion. And remember, or maybe you don't know already, but box 2 of the minor pentatonic is also the root position, or box 1 of major pentatonic. This gets into a concept of relative keys. For every major key, there is a relative minor key, 3 frets away, or a whole step and a half away, that share the exact same 7 notes. So here is box 2 of minor pentatonic, or root position of major pentatonic. So the first one we're going to look at is the Ionian scale. So the Ionian scale is just a bread and butter major scale. Now, there's a couple different ways you can look at this one. You could use maybe the perfect fourth interval to highlight the Ionian sound, or you can highlight the major seventh. Both intervals work. I would say the major seventh sound is a little more familiar or a little more anchored to the Ionian flavor, but I'll show you both ways. The first one with the perfect fourth interval added. Now, speaking of that seventh interval, we're now going to switch over to the Mixolydian mode. The Mixolydian mode is the same scale as the Ionian except for that seventh interval. That seventh interval is lowered by a half step. So it's a major scale, but with a minor seventh interval. That's the Mixolydian sound. And finally for today, we're going to talk about the Lydian mode. So the Lydian mode, again, you can compare all of these major modes back to Ionian. It's exactly the same, except the fourth interval is raised by a half step. So this is a sharp 4 interval. So this is the Lydian sound mixed in with pentatonic. So you would call this a Lydian hexatonic scale. Please like and subscribe, and if you're interested in private lessons with me, message me or check out the link in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.